Hey guys, it's Jade here with another daily tarot card reading. How are you doing today? I'm doing well. You know, I feel like I'm clearing out a lot of debris. If you're familiar with the Wisdom of the Oracle Clean It Up card, I feel kind of like that's going on in my life right now. Kind of cleaning things up in every sense of the word. Cleaning up my side of the street, cleaning up my house, cleaning up my thoughts, things like that. So I'm interested to see what the energy brings. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me. If you're new, welcome. Excited to have you here. So let's just get into it. So spirit guides of the highest truth and compassion. What is it that we can share with this lovely group of individuals today? What is it that we can share? What is it? How can I invite you in to co-create with me today so that we can share the messages that this collective needs to hear most today for their highest good? What is it that they might need to say? Who is it that they might need to speak with? Where is it that they may need to go? And what is it that they might need to do at this time or think about at this time? How can we help them today? How can we help each other today? My hands are very hot right now. I feel like I'm connecting. I'm getting in touch. All right. So if you've been here before, then you know that the way that I do things, I draw a top card for what's on your conscious mind. And on your conscious mind, we have the Queen of Wands so far. And your unconscious, the bottom card is the unconscious, and that is the Two of Wands. We have an overall energy card that I draw off to the right, and that is Justice today. And then I'm gonna pull, I have two advice cards. I'm not gonna flip them over quite yet, okay? Bottom of the deck energy is the Knight of Wands and the Five of Wands. So we have a lot of wand energy, I'm just noticing right off the bat. So Wands is the fire element. I just got a lot of heat. Heat. Tension is a word I'm picking up on right now. Tension. Stress. Anger. Frustration. What was that one? Conflict. Creative, like will, creative drive is what I'm getting. So I'm getting a lot of different words that, and these words, most of them were kind of emotions or feelings. Bottom of the deck energy for me usually denotes energy that we've recently moved through it's the energy that is underlying the reading today, okay? So you're gonna need to take this as it resonates for you. As I say in most of my videos, you know you best. You know you best. Nobody knows your life better than you do. No tarot reader or anybody in this world knows your life better than you. And so this is where you bridge the gap with me with this message, okay? So what I'm picking up on today is a lot of fire energy, and fire energy has both light and dark, light and shadow. I'm getting a lot of tension, just so you're aware. I'm getting a lot of tension. I don't know if you feel tense right now, or if you have very recently, or if tension is on your mind at all, okay? In some area of your waking life. It could be to do with another person, but it also could just be inside of you, okay? I know that I have been experiencing a lot of tension inside of me lately, related to conflict. So I also say in my readings that we mirror each other. I do not know every single one of your experiences or lives, because that would just be ridiculous. Like there's just no way I could possibly know, because you know your life best. But I know my life, and in these videos I aim to co-create with the universe to share whatever it is from my life and attach it to a message of wisdom that might be helpful for you and your life, okay? So while our lives are definitely not the same, the feelings that I have in a particular situation, it could be similar to the feelings you have in a particular situation, though those circumstances may be entirely different, okay? That's what I'm saying. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's very possible that underlying this reading is some form of tension and or conflict, okay? That was a really big explanation today. The other thing I'm getting from this night is moving forward courageously, determined, passionately. That's what I'm getting too. So in your conscious, we have the Queen of Wands. So that would tell me that in your waking life, you are embracing your Queen of Wands energy. And as I've said in other videos, I firmly believe that we hold all of the suits and all of the major arcana, all of the kings and queens inside of us, no matter how we identify. Every single card means something to everyone. What I get from this card may be very different from what you get from this card. There's a general meaning of the Queen of Wands, but reading cards is very personal. I guess I kind of wanted to say that. Reading cards is very personal. Everybody reads in a different way, and it's an art form, really. It's a way of expressing oneself, okay? So the Queen of Wands generally is a very sovereign individual who attracts beautiful things into their life. And they're able to create from a place of honesty and a place of rawness and a place of vulnerability, being courageous and being vulnerable and showing their colors with pride, without feeling the need to temper their flame in any way, shape, or form to meet anyone's standards, any person's standards or society's standards or the institution's standards. The Queen of Wands stands strong and tall in her creativity because she has confidence in her message. Okay, so this is the energy that I'm getting that you're embodying in your waking life, which is fucking phenomenal if you ask me. Like that, I've worked, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that the feeling is semi-mutual here, but the mirroring is that I know in my life, I've worked really, really hard to access my Queen of Wands energy. Sometimes I've worked too hard. Sometimes I've worked too hard because it's supposed to be natural. These things are natural inside of us. You don't have to work hard to get to them. You just have to have the intention, and you just have to have the courage to embrace the gifts. Okay? That's what I'm getting. So I've worked, when I say I've worked hard, what it really means is I've gone down a really winding road that's led me to a lot of different feelings. A winding road that's led me to heartbreak, that's led me to failure, the feeling of failure, actual failure. Also unlocking new milestones, going places I've never been, exhilaration, freedom. So many emotions are down this winding path, right? And I guess in your conscious mind, you are feeling the energy of the Queen of Wands. And I think that we should just take a moment to honor that, because it's not always as simple as just turning on a switch. It takes some digging to get here sometimes. In your unconscious, we have the Two of Wands. And so this tells me that in your unconscious, you're kind of mulling over something. There's two different directions you could take. I'm trying to see if I get a flavor on this. I just got, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take this? You fill in the blank. I don't know what this is. It could be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be a project. It could be an opportunity. Where do you want to take this? That's what I got from Spirit. It's just, where do you want to go? How do you want to move forward? Kind of a thing. I'm using my Caribou coffee mug today because I very much miss my Minnesota. Shout out to any Minnesotans. And your overall energy, we have justice. And that's interesting with the Two of Wands in your unconscious, because that tells me that there is, in your overall mindset, there's a need for balance, or there's a striving towards balance, or there is a thought around balance, being judicious, fair, I'm getting. And I feel that it has something to do with your Queen of Wands energy, is somehow balancing out your Queen of Wands energy. Because like I said, every card has light and shadow. And so maybe there's this balance happening with your Queen of Wands energy, balancing light and shadow in order to move forward in a way that honors your soul and also honors fairness in some way. So take that as it resonates, okay? That's going to be very different for every one of you. And if I have any examples, I will be sure to share them. Let me see if I'm going to pull one more for clarification. And you know, I haven't pulled from Everyday Witch in a sec, so I'm going to do that. Everyday Witch by Deborah Blake and Elizabeth Alba. You know, I feel very like strong today. So I'm thinking that we're feeling strong. We're feeling strong in what we know. That's kind of what I'm getting. We feel really impassioned and strong in what we know. This Two of Wands energy, I'm going to be interested to see what comes out for clarification. Spirit guides of the highest truth and compassion. What more can we share with the collective today regarding their Queen of Wands energy and maintaining balance? I'm getting maintaining balance in their thoughts and their decisions. Maintaining balance in their thoughts and their decisions. I just heard, you got to know that everything happens for a reason. You got to know that everything happens for a reason. Oh, this is funny, you guys. Okay, so the bottom of the deck on this guy was the Fool and Justice. All right, major Justice vibes today, okay? And it's funny, with the Fool, so I'm getting that maybe the Queen of Wands energy, which it would make sense if we marry each other, is new to you. I would say it's fairly new to me, honestly. I won't say I never. Queen of Wands energy was always inside of me, but I did not always recognize it. Is that something that we share in common? I know that I'm in my Queen of Wands energy when I am creating authentically without judging myself. Does that resonate with you? When I'm embracing it more like the Fool. When I'm embracing this energy as more like, oh wow, this is cool, this is interesting, I'm curious about this, let's go down, let's try this out. And it's not like, oh, is that the right thing to do? You know, like, or what are people going to think of me if I do this? Like, it's more embracing it like the Fool. And I'm learning though that, you know, in any suit and in any card, if you embrace it, depending on how you embrace it, it could create consequences in your life sometimes. Not always, but sometimes it can. And I'm wondering if the message today is, if there have been consequences that have shown up in your life related to your Queen of Wands energy, that it's maybe that right now you're seeking out a balance, because the confirmation card too with the Queen of Wands was the Two of Pentacles. That's seeking out balance. With the overall energy, Justice was the Knight of Swords. And I'm getting a lot of speaking your truth vibes with this. A lot of speaking your truth vibes. Being daring. Being daring to go where others won't is kind of what I'm getting with this. Being daring enough to say what others won't. But you know, in your soul, it's from a place of truth and fairness. And then in your unconscious, we have the Hangman. So whatever this decision is, or whatever this thing is that you're mulling over, we're getting confirmation from Spirit that it's important to see things differently. And this makes sense to me, because just today I was thinking over something related to Queen of Wands energy, and how so let's see, what can I share with this? So with this story, this is a story that I have, and it may apply for you, it may resonate for you in some way, okay? So like, here we go. During a time where I was very much embracing my Queen of Wands energy for the first time, very much like as the Fool, okay? I was so excited. I was so excited to be in the Queen of Wands energy and to be seen as the Queen of Wands. Actually, that was maybe more of what was important to me, was that for the first time in a long time, in a long time, I was seen as the Queen of Wands, and it got me really excited. And it made me feel like, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I want to be. And I think where there was balance needed at the time is I got so excited that I kind of I acted towards something more impulsively than I believe if I was sitting in my justice seat than I would have actually done. Okay? So take that as it resonates. Like, have you ever gotten so excited about something because you felt like you accessed a part of yourself that you've always wanted to access? And you literally didn't even think it was possible to access. That you just got so consumed by the passion of what that was, and you maybe kind of forgot, or it was not in your conscious awareness to balance out your actions or your words. You know, I mean, I do think that this happens all the time. Like, you know, in work meetings, sometimes people get really excited about an idea or what they want to do, that they're kind of only thinking about, they're zoned in on that idea and what they want to do, that they're kind of forgetting about all the players that are involved to make something happen, to make something come to work, to make something come to fruition. I have another perfect example. My toddler, he loves to play with the cat wand, right? There's this feathered cat wand. And he gets so excited playing with his cat wand that he wants to just like, and he doesn't really see the people around him. And then it ends up hitting me in the face. And then he starts crying because he hit me in the face. It's things like that. Sometimes we get so enraptured in this energy because it's so exciting and it's bringing us like so much happiness and so much of something that we've wanted that we might overlook this, is what I'm getting. Overlook it, momentarily forget. And what I'm getting with this card too, though, is when you do forget, because we all make mistakes. We're all human and we all make mistakes. Big or small, we all make mistakes. Is to come back to your truth and what's most important. I always think of that movie, The Princess and the Frog, Disney. Princess and the Frog, where the dad, you know, Tiana is accessing, young Tiana is accessing her Queen of Wands energy, and she wants to have a restaurant. She wants to have a restaurant where everyone can come and everyone can eat food and gather and experience happiness, love, and joy. And she's really focused on that dream. She's like, I'm going to wish upon the star. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to do all these things. And her dad says, no, it's great to have goals and it's great to have a dream, but never lose sight of what's really important. That's what he says. Never lose sight of what's really important. So is it possible, my friend, my dearest loving friend, and I'm talking to myself, literally, literally recording this, talking to myself, but I'm also talking to you because I'm manifesting a community of people where we can literally be here for each other, okay? So my loving, dearest friend, is it quite possible that what's important has eluded you in some way? And there's no shame. There's no shame if it has. I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that something has happened to me where I am experiencing that. And I did my best with what I had at the time. And I am moving towards acceptance of what came to pass. And I see what's important now. I see what's important. So I feel a lot of energy in my left hand. You're not alone. That's what I want to say to you. You're not alone. And I think that whatever's in your unconscious, this decision, I think for some it's going to be like, I can't believe I did this. Am I this or am I this? Kind of a thing. I can't believe I did that. Am I a good person or am I a bad person? Kind of a thing. Or it could be someone else too. You could be on the receiving end of this. I can't believe they did that. Do I stay or do I go? That could be that too. I'm trying to see what's most important for me to share with this. What's most important, I think, is to recognize what you know is important. Like he says, you know, don't lose sight of what's most important, what's really important. And while this is very exciting, and it's very, very important to act in this energy depending on the circumstance. Absolutely. I mean, part of this could even be, do I act as the Queen of Wands or don't I? That could be part of it. Only you're going to know what's most important in your life. So that is, the message is to see things differently. Maybe there's a storm a storm that you've moved through or are moving through, and you're kind of like paralyzed by all of these voices in your head, this conflict, this tension, or voices literally in your environment. There could be some conflict in your environment. And you have this question in your mind, is this good for me or is it not good for me? Do I go this way or do I go that way? Do I... For some of you, it's going to be, do I do what's right or do I do what's wrong? And I don't know. I think it all comes back to what is truly important. Because I don't know the context of what you're dealing with. So and also there's a message in here too about embracing your mistakes, is what I'm getting. Embracing your mistakes. With self-compassion and acceptance and moving towards what's really important. I'm going to see what the advice has to share with us here. Holy Mother of God. Okay, hold on. We got a lot of powerful cards, so let's just see here. I feel like this is how this wants to fall. So you have the Four of Wands with the Ten of Cups. So the Four of Wands is about celebration. It could also be about union. It could be about marriage. But today it feels very much like celebration. And the Ten of Cups is about happiness, joy, the good things in life. It's about family. It's about emotional abundance, fulfillment. So the advice, what are you grateful for? That's what I'm getting with this, is what are you grateful for? Do you feel like with this decision that something is missing in your life? Have you had to really kind of hang yourself up to figure out what that is? And have you been so excited to embrace the song of your soul that it's possible that what's most important has eluded you in some way? And if so, today, what is it that you're grateful for? You know, I don't know about you, but I really hate making mistakes. And I can get really hard on myself for making them. And sometimes I can get really zoned in on what I want, like Queen of Wands energy, that I kind of forget what's around me. And I know that I'm really grateful for my family. I'm really grateful for my family. I don't know what this means to you. It could be your chosen family. It could be like your actual like blood family. It could be I'm not going to say actual family because a lot of my chosen family is my family. When we practice gratitude, I'm being encouraged to share, we're giving ourselves the opportunity to see that in this moment we have everything that we need, and we have joy in our lives. We have joy in our lives and we have love in our lives. And so if you're in this space of mental conflict, having to decide, this is what I've been doing, is thinking about what it is that I'm grateful for. I'm very grateful for my family. I'm very grateful for my beautiful baby boy. He teaches me something new every day. I'm grateful for my two beautiful kitty babies. They heal me when I need to be healed. They protect me. So what are you grateful for? And it could be simple. It can be super simple. The other piece of this advice is the star and the moon. Whew. So with the star, you know, there's also balance here, right? The water is being poured into the water, it's being poured into the earth, it's being poured into grounding, and it's being poured into imagination. That's kind of what I'm getting. Oh, I'm not supposed to show the boobies. Balancing out our energy, balancing out where we put our energy and what we're paying attention to. Our divinity, that's what I'm getting. The moon. There's a lot of feminine energy on this for this advice. Maybe the advice is to embrace. Oh, this is interesting. I just got receiving. I know I have a hard time receiving love, especially if I've done something wrong, or especially if I've done something that part of me feels is, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, kind of a thing. And so I almost wonder with this, because there's kind of a lot of feminine energy, is maybe the advice is to receive love, receive kindness, receive compassion, receive. Is there something that you're blocking receiving? I know that I have a tendency to block love just from childhood life circumstances. Like I have a tendency if someone is looking at me lovingly to kind of I want to say shirk it off, like kind of like why are you looking at me like that? That's kind of how I will respond sometimes. It's like, what is it? What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? Because literally the last thing in my head is to receive love. Is that something that we can relate to, you and I? I'm getting a left, it almost feels like a hand is on my shoulder on my left side here. Because it's scary. It can be scary. It could feel like, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? What do you want from me? Not necessarily, oh, that's love and I am worthy and deserving of it and I'm just gonna bask in it. I don't know. For me, it's been a hard thing to learn, to receive love. Is that something that we share? Does it seem really scary sometimes? Why does it seem scary? Is that something you've ever written down in a journal? For me, it's scary because it's vulnerable as shit. Because it's like a dog exposing their belly, kind of a thing. If a dog exposes their belly, that means they trust you. That means that they know you're not going to hurt them. And for me, I feel like if I receive love, that's exposing my belly. That's and by denying it, I think that's me not exposing my belly. Kind of like I'm not safe. I don't feel safe. This doesn't feel safe because in the past I've been hurt, because in the past someone abused their power, because in the past I was taken advantage of. I feel like there's a very specific group of individuals that I'm speaking to in relation to trust and love. My hands are very hot. Trust and love. And I think you guys, you're doing a really great job balancing all of your feelings, because I'm definitely getting a lot of emotions from these cards. And I think to end this reading, I'm going to draw an archetype. I'm right there with you it's really hard for me to give myself grace. If I make a mistake, and sometimes if I don't receive love, sometimes it can be really hard for me to give myself grace. And you're not alone. Oh, so spirit guides are the highest truth and compassion. What is it that we can share with this beautiful group of individuals today related to receiving love and trust? Trusting and receiving love. Being able to be who we are and to trust and receive love. Big stuff today, you guys. Big stuff. This one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The prayer. Whoa! The prayer. Oh, you know what's funny? I think of that song, the Celine Dion, Andre Bocelli song. Need to find a place, right? Place. Guide us with your grace to a place where we'll be safe. Whoa. Yeah, need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. Oh, I just got chills, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, the prayer. Let's see. I really wish that my allergies weren't so bad. Because I would really like to be able to sing that song more, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? So speaking of Queen of Wands energy and mistakes, my storage is full. So we got the prayer, so I'm gonna just keep going here. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us toward illusion. Interesting. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. When light, offering to be of service, asking for guidance. When dark, expecting results, self-aggrandizement. Go deeper, ask to be of service. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Ong Namo Guru Div Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearing all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. I think what this is saying, you guys, is that whatever it is you're really thinking about in your life, this way, that way, do I do this, do I do that, do I go here, do I go there, how do I treat myself, am I a bad person, am I a good person, whatever, this thing, maybe this mistake that you made that you're trying to find a balance in your life with, or whatever, really something, so it's just really hard, this thing that you're dealing with that There's a balance of feeling really good and not feeling really good, I'm getting. Like life's biggest questions, the things that happen, these very complicated things in life that happen, and there's just so much gray area. It's saying that now is the time to let go of what we think we need and to embrace what's around us. Prayer is very different for everybody. It's very personal, just like reading tarot cards. It's very personal. I'm being guided to ask you if you've really fallen on your knees yet. Like, have you really surrendered to everything, to your expectations, to your ego, what you think you deserve? Have you really kind of just fallen to your knees, to yourself, and started over is kind of what I'm getting. This is really hard work, you guys. This is like so hard, and it's really difficult for me to even articulate this. So this is part of the reason why I'm doing this channel, I think, is because there's these things in life that are literally just so hard that we try to find answers. We try to find answers. And I think we're being guided to pray in some way. So I don't know what prayer looks like to you, because that's very different for everybody. For me, prayer looks like surrendering my expectations. Just looking at everything for what it is, offering it up to something divine, something like my higher consciousness, and really looking and moving towards what's most important is kind of what I'm getting. When you were little and you did something wrong, I don't know if you had a very healthy living environment. I feel like most of us probably didn't. But when I was little and I did something wrong, I was so quick to blame myself. I was so quick to say, Jade, you're the problem. You're the problem. It's not that you're fallible and human and that you made a mistake just because you made a mistake. I would be very quick to tell myself, you don't deserve happiness. You don't deserve love. You don't deserve blank. I would get really, really hard on myself. Maybe that's something we can relate to. Well, we're not kids anymore, guys. We're not kids anymore. And I think the message is to offer that up to love, offer that up to kindness, offer that up to self-compassion, offer that up to the mother you are now to your kids, or the father you are now to your kids. The one thing I'll leave you with is when I was pregnant, I remember I was the most kind to myself when I was pregnant. I took such good care of myself. I had no choice. I was very sick. So when I feel whatever I feel, this kind of tension, I'll think about the tension as like a baby. I'll think of it as like something I'm growing inside of me. And I encourage everyone to do this. Everyone, no matter how you identify, no matter what. If you envision literally growing something inside of you, growing a project, growing a baby, growing whatever it is, this thing is inside of you, right? This thing that you have tension with. And if you think about sending it all these loving thoughts and how you want it to develop in the world and all the love and the care you want to give it, like this problem, whatever this is in your life, I invite you to sit with it in that manner, maybe for like 5 to 10 minutes, and see how your viewpoint might change afterwards. That could be a form of prayer. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. And it just makes me really happy that I can share this with you. All right, bye.